one and all present here. I, on behalf of Dr. B.C. Roy Polytechnic, take the immense pleasure to welcome you all to our Day 1, Session 2 of our 6-day offline AICTE approved Auto FDP program. It is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for this session, Dr. Devashish Chakraborty. Dr. Chakraborty completed his Bachelor of Engineering in Electronics and Telecommunication from BE College, Shivpur, and the Calcutta University in 1990. He pursued his Master of Engineering in Computer Science and Engineering Department from Bengal Engineering College, currently known as IIEST Shivpur. He later obtained his PhD degree in Computer Science from the prestigious Durgapur University. Presently, Dr. Chakraborty serves as a professor and head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Asansol Engineering College. His research interests span pattern recognition, computational biology, machine learning, and remote sensing. With several years of industrial experience and significant contribution as a reviewer for numerous national and international journals, Dr. Chakraborty brings with him a wealth of academic and professional expertise. So now, I would call upon Mr. Abhishek Pal sir to felicitate him with a flower bouquet. He is also the coordinator and head of the Department of Computer Science and Technology Department. We are honored to have you, sir, with us, and I am sure your insight will be highly valuable for all of the participants. So please, sir, now I request you to continue with this session. Thank you.
স্যার কলারে আপনি এখানে করতে পারেন স্যার এই নিচেও করতে পারেন অসুবিধা নেই কলার না
my previous background, my education. So today I am very much pleased with you that you have given me an opportunity to discuss on cloud technology, and I am basically from the machine learning background. So I have tried to integrate machine learning and cloud computing also, because there is all branches, all topics, actually they are interrelated. So everybody, that is all of us, we use internet, we use email, different softwares, we use different compilers through internet. Okay. So these are all in fact all internet. So there are so many applications of cloud computing that it facilitates research, academia, business, so many things. Okay, so these are actually correlated, very close relations among them. So basically, when I in my research domain, I have used a cloud computing facility also, because I have handled huge amount of data, it's very big data. I could use my own computer to process the data, it could simply, it was not possible to process all this data because my resource is just a laptop. Its capacity is a 8 GB RAM. So computing facility is this because I have to handle huge amount of data, very large data. So I have to take the facilities, the advantages of cloud technology, cloud computing. Right. So I have tried to integrate both the two emerging areas. So first of all, this is the main agenda of my speech. So first we shall start with machine learning, is an emerging area. Then we shall have a discussion on something about the cloud computing, and after that we shall try to integrate ML in cloud. Okay. So I think it will help you who are currently, who have already finished your research work, or currently you are in research. And many of you may be in machine learning domain or cloud computing domain. So I think it will help you a lot. Okay. So actually my discussion will be not very deep, because very deep discussions in these areas like machine learning and cloud computing will be somewhat, it's a very big area. So that's it. I just give you the overview and utilizations of cloud computing and machine learning domains. Okay. So let us dive to this. So we shall discuss on the machine learning. It's an emerging area in my field also. In machine learning, actually I have completed my PhD degree from Yadav University under Dr. Ujjwal Maulik. You know about him. So there is very vast knowledge. So machine learning means that is just machine will learn based on the past experience, past data. It's like for human being, if we talk about the real learning, like human being or maybe any animal. So actually, after our birth, actually we are learning and learning and learning. Okay. But the thing is that the world is so changing, particularly in computer science domain. So it's very difficult to cope with all these things, all these domains, right? So machine learning actually it works. There is learning. Machine will learn based on the past experience, past data. So if you think about suppose I am the agent and this is the environment. Okay? So in artificial intelligence there is a two part. One is agent, another part is the environment. So always actually as an agent we perceive, that is we receive knowledge from the environment and we analyze the data which is received from the environment, and we process the data in our memory like computer, and based on the data and past experience or past data which is stored in our memory, we take decision. That is the beauty of machine learning, right? Actually human learning. But if we incorporate, that is we can give the power into a machine with some data, past experience and learning algorithm, then the machine will be able to take decision based on the data and the machine learning algorithms, so that it will analyze the data and will take decision based on the data which is given to the systems. Okay, just like a human being, right? So basically, I don't elaborate this type of machine learning in details, but you know that there are three types of machine learning. One is the supervised learning. That is supervised learning. You may know about it. That it works with the label data. Label data. Okay. It's just machine learning means that supervised learning means that it acts like a teacher. Actually, when we learn something, teacher helps us. Okay. learn about mathematics, physics, chemistry like that, which was happened. So supervised learning is very important learning. It's one application I can say there is a spam filtering in cloud. Okay, some mails are spams and some mails are good mails which you want. Okay, so actually spam, no spam, spam, no spam. So actually spam filtering that some algorithms, machine learning algorithm is utilized to separate spam mails with the original mails, right? So in supervised learning, I have told you that it works with label data. Actually, the data set which are given, its main part is the, when a data set is given, actually it has a two part. One is the training data set, training part, and the another part is validation set, another part is the test set. Okay. So when that is for spam filtering, you can use any machine learning, but which machine learning you will utilize, you will deploy. Okay. So for this, what is done actually, the performance of the learning algorithms actually is tested based on the accuracy a machine learning algorithm gives you. So different machine learning algorithms, you know, that is name-based classifier, ANN classifier, very essential, easy algorithm or classifier, support vector machines. So just you use some machine learning algorithms and to justify the performance of the algorithm, which algorithm gives you the good result, and accordingly you have to decide which machine learning for your particular problem can be utilized. It may be that for some problem the KNN algorithm will give you the good result, or it may be in some problem the SVM support vector machine will give you the good result. Okay. So I am not going through the detailed analysis. So in supervised learning, there are two types actually, basically classification and regression. You know that the difference between the classification and regression. Classification means that say today is hot and tomorrow whether it will be hot or cold, that is the decision, hot or cold. Okay, so there is the task of the classification algorithm, right? Okay. And in case of regression, that we actually utilize for regression purpose, we use linear regression. Linear regression actually, it estimates actually, say today's temperature is 25 degree. What will be the temperature of tomorrow's day? It will be 25.5 degree or it will be 26 degree. That actually estimates what is the temperature of tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So that is the actually basic equation which is utilized for regression purpose. Y is equal to mx square, mx plus c. That's simple. So for regression purpose, we generally use simple and multiple linear regression. And classification purpose, we generally use logistic regression, UNN algorithm, SPM, kernel SPM, these algorithms are. But in case of unsupervised algorithm, generally the most used unsupervised clustering algorithm is the K-means algorithm, you know about it. Right? And also fuzzy C-means also there. You can utilize. Actually computes the membership values. That is there are several classes. So for particular examples or instances, what will be the membership value of a particular sample that belongs to a particular class. Okay. Suppose if for example, suppose there are two classes, yes and no. Okay. The sample is there. So the sample, its membership value may be say 0.7 in class yes and 0.7 in class. Okay. So that is compute the membership grade of class belongingness of particular sample. case of unsupervised learning, actually it takes data set but without any label. So data set without label actually available data that is used by the unsupervised. So K-means are generally used. You know about the K-means algorithm. Reinforcement learning is very important. Reinforcement, that is just a from our, that is after birth actually we have started learning with my mother, with my father, okay, which is the milk. So every day after birth actually we don't have any knowledge. But day by day actually we acquire knowledge from the environment. A good example can be given. There is learning cycle riding or motorcycle riding. Okay. First day we don't have any knowledge about the car, say bike riding or car riding, or maybe swimming also. Okay. But day by day we learn. Okay. And after that, after a few months, actually, then I'm the master of driving car or bike or maybe swimming also. So that is the example of reinforcement learning. Okay. In case of reinforcement learning, there is two important parameters is there. One is reward, another is penalty. Okay. That means that if you take the right decision, you will be rewarded, and if you take the wrong decision, so you will be penalized. But in case of bike riding, that is if you have a mistake, then you fell from the bike, you fall from the bike. Okay. Maybe that is your hand or leg will be broken. That is the punishment. That is, you have not taken the right decision, or it may be that you don't have the sufficient knowledge to ride the bike. Okay. So, clustering, I told you that the hierarchy of clustering is there. K means clustering. PCA is another unsupervised classification. When PCA means that is principal component analysis. Means that when you have the data set of a huge number of features or attributes, okay. So in that case, if we use the whole data set, what will happen? And all these things in there, that is in machine learning, that you can utilize cloud computing facility to run, to use any machine learning algorithms or any data that is available in different sources, okay? Because we don't have the data. Actually, when data is given, we don't prepare it, but we either we download from the data from the sources through the help of cloud facility, and then we work, okay? So there is a good relation. There is a one-to-one relation between the ML and cloud computing. So what dimensionality reduction means that if the number of features of a data set is huge, then it may require that when you use the whole data set, what will happen? Either your performance of the algorithm will reduce, as well as the computation timing will be very high, because the number of features increase, then time complexity, that is computational time, which will be also. It may be that some of the features which are not relevant, irrelevant features, before mining or before using the data set, what you need, you just reduce some features from the whole data set, okay, from the whole data set, and after then PC actually it creates it actually extracts some new features. It creates some new features from the whole data set. Another way is also there, that is called feature selections. Okay. If there are 100 features, it may be that you rank the features and take the best features and apply these features for your purpose. Okay. There is feature selection, feature extraction is there. So other also, as a deep learning is a very important part in the emerging area. Okay, that is artificial neural network, convolution or CNN. Okay, I have used CNN in Google Colab. Google Colab. Actually, it's very one paper is already accepted by good journal. one journal. That is, it was in terms of classification of rice varieties. Actually, that work is done by Hajra. Okay, Hajra is done, but this paper is accepted by Q1 journal. Okay, Sundeep Bhagwat is also there. The paper is already in place. Okay, but that was the work of Hajra. When he worked with his own computer, he has told me, because a big data is there, that is 75,000 rice images. Size maybe say half GB, 0.5 GB size. Hajra told me that when run the CNN algorithm, it would take 7-8 days to give the final result. But in case if we use the Colab, Google Colab, that is the facility of cloud technology, so you will get the result within 5-6 hours. Right? So that is the beauty of CNN, also beauty of cloud computing that help you in every steps in your life now, today's life. Okay, now move to the next slide. That I have already told you that this supervised learning. Okay, it's just to see that on the left hand side, here are some triangles and some circles, different sizes, shapes, and different colors. Okay, so left hand side, learn about the shape, learn about the shape. Okay, so this left hand side has these training samples. How many training samples are there? 3, 7, 14 samples are there. Both circles and triangles. Okay. Now see, just point of you see that this one, okay, this is the test sample, okay, this is the test sample and this is the training samples. That we like to learn about the shape. So actually your machine learning algorithm, from the available training data set, it will extract the knowledge from the available data set. Okay, and after training, just you fit this new sample to the training data, then it will classify that the new object is a triangle. Now, if you like to learn about the color, on the right hand side, here you see that the samples are some samples on blue color and the remaining samples are yellow color. Okay. Now this triangle is given to the training to the algorithm, with this one. Then the algorithm will tell you that the new object is of yellow color, right? Okay. So you see that two different algorithms, different purpose. One algorithm actually learns about the shape, another algorithm actually learns about the color. Okay. Now, this is an example of unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning, you see that on the left hand side, first this is the training data set, unlabeled data set. We don't know what is what. Okay, but the clustering algorithm actually what it does, it groups the objects of similar based on some similar or dissimilar nature. Okay, the left hand side, that is it is grouped based on the size. Next one, it is based on the first one is based on the size, and this is based on the shape, and third one supervised learning. K-means algorithm is very important that you can, it is also available in cloud, you can utilize it. For this you don't have to write it. Also one thing that if you say they write a K-means algorithm in ChatGPT or DeepSeek, it will write the program for you. Yes, right? So that is the beauty of cloud facility, that you can utilize the K-means algorithm for your purpose that is already available, or you can use it ChatGPT or DeepSeek. Have you used DeepSeek? That is actually invented by China. I use DeepSeek also sometimes. ChatGPT and DeepSeek. Okay. Now, the types of clustering. Reinforcement learning. I have already told you that if there is a fire, a person is there, so if he reaches to extinguish the fire without water, then he will be punished, he will be burned. Okay, so that is, it is the action. Okay, so if you do the, if you take the right decision, you will be rewarded, or if you take the wrong decision, so you will be penalized. Okay, so there is the example of reinforcement learning. So nothing more about it. We'll discuss about this. Okay. The cube learning and deep cube learning. Cube learning, what is that? Actually, the first picture it shows a table, cube table. Okay, this is a cube table. In the current state of the table, based on the table, you take action. Okay, if there is any value that is wrong, then you update the table. That is called the cube learning. And in case of deep cube learning, you can use the CNN or ANN algorithm. Okay, just you see that in CNN algorithm there are actually three parts actually. One is input, hidden layers, and the output part. Okay, just it works like a neuron system of our brain. Okay, so nothing more about this. Now move to the cube learning. I've already told about this cube learning. Okay. Now there is a cloud computing. So you see that different devices are connected to it. This cloud actually is not the natural cloud. Okay. So you see that the what is cloud actually? You know that is a facility. Okay, the computing facility that provides with the help of the different softwares, network, database is also there. Okay. So many things actually. This is actually the interconnected. First of all, we actually discuss about the how. Actually, in cloud computing, the main part is the communication part. Okay, because for communication, first of all, what you need, that you need some physical devices, right? Physical devices, maybe computer, mobile, laptop, anything. Okay, or and these physical devices actually connected by what? Medium. Okay, medium means the medium of communication. Okay, so maybe say coaxial cable, maybe waveguide, maybe fiber optic cable, maybe satellite. So these devices are they are all are interconnected. Even your mobile is also interconnected. Okay, this is also in cloud. Mobile or mobile. Okay, server, you can use the server also. Actually, one thing is that nowadays the in fact AI and other chemistry, whatever you say, that to the deluge of data set actually are producing huge amount of data. So if you purchase a computer, if you like to process the data with your own set, laptop, so it is purely impossible to compute, to get the result, because your memory is limited, your device is limited, okay, and processor is limited, okay, and if you like to process an image data, in that case you have to purchase GPU or TPU, which is very costly. I think GPU is nowadays very actually the NVIDIA the GPU is cost around, there is maybe more than 10 lakhs. It's not possible to purchase. So instead of actually just like suppose if you after getting a job, suppose you are getting a job in you have got a job in Bengal, so it was not possible to purchase a flat in Bengal because cost will be more than 1 crore. What you can do that you can rent a flat or home, and also weddings and chairs and carts that can be also rented. So that is actually instead of purchasing the, even also in case of companies also, if your company for maintaining its database, other activities, so instead of purchasing 50 computers and its resources, communication parts, the company has to purchase many software, many computers. Okay, so actually this is not feasible for a company or for human being also. Whatever you can do, you can rent these resources from other service providers. They will provide you same thing. That is software, they provide software, database, everything. Your database that you can store the data in the data center of the service provider. Okay, like Azure or AWS and other service providers there. Okay. So what is inside the cloud? Cloud means everything, that all interconnected devices. And next is that what are you have to connect the devices. Okay, that is there is a you say your computer network. Okay, there are several layers are there, right? And also there are some protocols already installed to facilitate communication, right? So nowadays who are already completed your PhD or also you are working in research and innovations, so you can obviously you take the facilities from cloud computing. Sometimes some facilities are available without paying anything, but there are some facilities in that you have to pay. Okay, you have to rent. Okay. And also in Gmail, actually when you do something, so in that case only 15 GB actually is given for free. But if you need more, then you have to pay for that. Okay. So cloud computing is the connectivity of different kind of electronic devices. These devices actually is distributed around the world, right? The server is there, public cloud, hybrid cloud, okay. Database, applications, mobile, storage. So actually these are the devices that is connected, and yours, as I told you, that the mobile is also connected to the cloud. Now to understand the cloud computing, so I think the basic knowledge about the communication systems, and many of you know about the communication systems. So that's why I think it's needed for you, okay, needed for everybody also. There is a basic communication system. So you know that there are two parts in the transmission and another is the reception. Okay. Right? I think you are aware of the figure. Okay. So first of all, suppose if I as a speaking, okay, my voice, there is also a signal which reaches you. But in this case, you don't need any channel or any media program, because in this case here is that I am speaking, my signal is reaching to you. Okay. But it is within short distance. That is voice. Your voice will reach up to say 100 meters if you loudly speak. But thing is that if you like to transmit the data over 10 kilometers or 100 kilometers, then what important thing is that your voice must be converted to electrical signal, right? Electrical signal of the same frequency. Okay. So transduction means that when I speak, that is our voice, the voice signal is converted to electrical signal using the microphone. Microphone is a transducer that converts the voice to electrical signals. Okay. Then what you need that the signal that is you converting the voice signal, it's signal strength is very less, say millivoltage. In that case, what you need to amplify the signal. Okay. Maybe power amplifier may be required, voltage amplifier may be required. Okay. So after getting the voice signal in electrical form, you give some energy, right? There is amplifier. Okay. After that, you know that if you like to go to Kolkata from Durgapur, so you cannot walk down to Kolkata. In that case, you need a carrier like train or bus, right? So in this case, to transmit this signal, you need an oscillator. That is actually modulator. Okay, different kind of modulator you go. Okay, amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase shifting, Gaussian amplitude shifting. There are so many modulation schemes are there. Okay. So you modulate the signal again. After modulating the signal, you give some power. Okay, then transmit the signal through antenna, or maybe the communication may be wired or wireless. Okay, so you transmit the signal through antenna. Okay, so you know that the antenna actually transmits electromagnetic signal. Okay, that in this case you see that when the signal before the antenna is electrical signal. Okay, but antenna actually transmits a 3D signal, 3 dimension, because you know P cross H, sorry, E electric field cross H, magnetic field is equal to P, that is power. Okay, electromagnetic signal. Okay, in receiver sections you receive the signal, radio receiver is there. You demodulate the signal, that is you remove the carrier from the modulated signal, and after that if you need to record, after demodulation you get the baseband signal, amplify the signal and flip the signal to output transducer, that is in this case say speaker. Okay. So this is the basic thing of basic communication systems. Okay, that is the part, the main part, the cloud computing. Okay, cloud computing. I've told you the communication. This is the cloud computing. Okay. So what is that? You see that communication may be through mobile, communication via voice, communication via message, and communication via video call. Because you know the signal may be different, it may be voice signal, it may be digital signal, or it may be video signal, images also. Okay. So all these signals actually is transmitted, and the signal is in fact processed in cloud, or processed in the cloud will say server, because cloud it is actually I don't see the cloud. Okay, well, something is that is actually process the data, process everything that is in the server. Okay, the server is the part of the cloud. And we slightly go back to the say telephone system, where they actually with the voice communications, right? You know that the human voice actually is frequency band, or frequency is 300 to 300 hertz to 3.4 kilohertz voice signal, and we take the bandwidth as 4 kilohertz. Then we apply Sarani theory, which is, you know, that fs greater than equal to 2b. Okay, so b is the bandwidth. So actually the voice signal, or say any voice signal that is in electrical form, it is converted to samples, right? If you use the Sarani theorem, you know that is actually basic things of communication there will be 8,000 samples per second. Okay, and if you create 8 bits per sample, then it will be 8,000 into 8, that is 64 kbps. So speed of the human voice is 64 kbps, right? This is a very important part. Layers in cloud computing. Different parts. Okay. Actually, your infrastructure as a service. Okay. Data center infrastructure as a service. IaaS. Okay. Where you see that you have CPU, memory, disk, bandwidth. Okay. Then after that, infrastructure means maybe your home computer, you have a laptop, you have these facilities. Now you like to do something. Okay. So your device actually connected to the next stage. These virtual machines. The next stage, this one. This one is there. Virtual machines. Okay. That you don't see. What is done here? And if you say that if you take the service from Amazon, then Amazon will provide you these facilities, computing facilities, virtual machines. Okay. Where resources are, without maintaining the resources, software, you don't need to maintain this. Okay. These are the job of the service provider like Amazon or Google Cloud. Okay. The next stage is the platform as a service bus. Okay, platform where you will get the storage software actually provided by Microsoft Azure, Apple Engine, or maybe other service providers. So service provided like AWS also. And the last is the applications is for the business application, web server, multimedia. Okay. Examples is Google Apps, Facebook, YouTube, Salesforce. These are the last stage. Okay. This is the end user. Software as a service. So these are the different layers of cloud technology or cloud computing. So this is the history actually, emergence of cloud computing. That is, we have actually started from the early computer, from John McCarthy. After that, IBM came in 1964. Okay, after that, mainframes, mini computer. Mainframe computer, that is a huge size. Huge size. After that, it came mini computer, and then personal computer that we have right now. Okay. In 1991, web service, 1997, 1999, cloud service, okay, Amazon web, Google. So these are the chronology or hierarchy, how we have this from the old computer system to nowadays systems. So this facility actually I have used for my research work. I have a laptop with limited resources like 8 GB RAM, also an SSD is there also, but I have a data set is a huge size. RICE, you will find the data set in the calculator. RICE image data set. Okay. There are 5 types of rice. One is, I recall, is basmati rice. It has 15,000 rice images. Other 4 different type of rice is there also. Each is 15,000. Total is 75,000 images, and each rice image has a size of 250 into 250 pixels for each rice image. Now you multiply 250 into 250 into 75,000. It will be huge data. It is not my my laptop will burst out. Okay. Then how do I solve? I solved it. Cloud computing. Okay. Use the Google Cloud facility. I have done this and I have got it. Okay. The thing is that I faced a problem because as the data set is used, I have to send the data set to the server. It's not an easy job. Okay. And but thing is that the computation time is very high. I have used the CNN neural network. Okay. The neural network actually it has a two-part actually. It takes the images, whole images. It has two parts. One is the first what it does. The CNN any kind of if it first extracts some important features. Then classification part. Okay, that is the huge computation. Okay, so your computer, college computer, they cannot give you the data. They have to give you infrastructure. So as a whole, you see that where we can identify what are the important part of cloud computing, the emergence of cloud computing. So these are the actually know all these things, that is server, laptop, okay, for computation. You need to purchase some service from the service provider or your computing part. Queue database, you can store the database in a remote server also. But in that case you need to pay for it. Okay. बिना पैसा से नहीं होगा. So there is a one thing main part of your work or any case for security. Security, if the data is stolen, then what will happen, you know that. Okay. The security is very important for so that when you use this service, cloud service, so service provider must ensure that your data is safe. For that, whatever is needed, the service provider will do it. Okay. That is you know that. But if you use the data in your machine, so that is not trying to any device, there is no question of your device is already secure. Okay. But send the data to the cloud, the service provider has the responsibility to do it. So to the factory, user means also work from home. So you can work for the company, for this company using the cloud. Okay, that is a work from office or work from home. Okay. So you need to access this factory where you are working. Okay. First of all, that is as a user, why the factory will give you the access to the server of the factory. Okay. So there must be authentication that you are the right person, that you can use the data, anything else. Okay. So authentication is very important. Okay. And you know that when the communication, there are some IEEE protocols. I think you know about it. For communication, IEEE communication, there are so many protocols are there. IEEE communication protocols. Okay. Protocols is a set of rules. Okay, that is used for the purpose of communication to facilitate it. Okay. So one thing is that there are different service may be provided by the service provider, like service 1, service 2, service n number of services. Whatever services you need. Okay. Maybe for suppose service you like to see cinema, Hollywood cinema. Where is the service? That is maybe the service provided by the service 1. Okay. You may need some papers, IEEE papers. That is provided by service 2. Okay. So there are different services actually Israel, you know that they have a system that a particular tree, the system is there that it requires some amount of water, right? So the system is that it will sense the need of water, how much water a particular tree is required by reading, say, temperature, say, humidity, water, humidity, other the sensors. Okay, takes the data and process it. Accordingly, it takes the decision how much water is required, and that amount of water is given to that particular tree. The smart farming system, they already use it. Many other countries, I know about Israel. Okay. So this how it works actually. You know that the data acquisition unit. Okay, different keys are there. Okay. Data acquisition means that you can sense data with the help of sensors. Okay, different type of temperature sensor is there, humidity sensor, other sensor, so many sensors. Okay, water level sensor that can be used. Okay, so actually suppose a temperature sensor, it actually senses the temperature. So in a data set, temperature is a feature in the data set. Okay, if the sensor takes the humidity, then humidity will be a feature. Temperature, humidity, moisture also, moisture content. That will be a feature of the data. Okay, it may be suppose you have used 10 sensors, you will get the data set with 10 features. It may be that some of the features is not really required. Then you use few features selection. You use some features and keep some features for your purpose. Okay. So what is done? That is the data acquisition. Data is collected and it is fed to the system through gateway, wireless access point, then gateway, internet, store the database. Okay. Then use the database. That is, you have to process it. Okay. In machine learning, actually, pre-processing of data is the important part. Data pre-processing. Okay. That is also that you can do with the help of the cloud computing technology. And after that, you process the data. Okay. User, after processing data, okay. So what will happen? It will take some decision whether water to be supplied or not. Decision will take. Okay. Then user automatically instructs the system that is you supply water to the agricultural field. Okay. There is the automatic smart farming. So we have not yet used to this point. I don't know in other states whether they are already using or not. I don't know. But smart farming is there. That can be. It is costly, however. Cloud platform or machine learning systems. You know, actually, you think that there are several units like hospitals and medical institutions. Okay, you need to save the data. Okay, the doctor will decide. Okay, doctor. So that is the data. Obviously, it should be in encrypted form, right? Data of the hospitals. Suppose a cancer patient, his data is actually spread to the cloud platform. Okay, cloud storage. Email model is there, the cloud. Okay, and data is processed. Okay, and the result after processing the data that is received from the hospital. Okay, the data is processed using the ML model. Okay, ML model, and after result of the analysis of data, the doctor that he will see, okay, and accordingly he will diagnose for the okay. And I think you know about the one hospital in China already set up. I think it is a AI hospital. Have you heard about this? Because all the doctors, there are 45 doctors, all are AI doctors. Okay, and their performance, that is the capability of diagnosis, is much more better than human doctor. I think Agent Hospital, I think its name is Agent Hospital, that is one university also set up in China. AI hospital. Okay, all doctors, everything. There is nobody. No human is there. Okay. So it's very nice. Okay. Actually, thing is that the AI actually kill our jobs in future. Okay. AI is not a very good thing. Okay. They will kill our jobs. Even ChatGPT will see. Okay. Recently, you have known that TCS laid up 12,000. Also in Google also, I think they have already thousands of engineers. Trump they have already told that they don't take Indian Trump. Okay. So thing is that one thing is that it's a village life is very good. Our life is very much complicated. If the world is changing, we need to learn about that. First, we have learned about this Fortran language. After that, what comes? C, then C++, Java, Python, R. How much language you will learn? Is it possible for a man? Actually, after retirement, I shall live in my own village. I shall leave everything. Okay. Because their life is very, very complex. That's actually, I don't think. This is the impact of AI and machine learning on cloud services. They are very simple, that is the security. Security is very important. Security is very, very important. Intelligent automation. Okay. Automation, that should be very much effective. Predictive analysis, prediction. Predictive analysis, that is also, that should be ensured in AI on cloud service. Okay. Operational efficiency. Okay. You have given a work and you have to wait for 2 days. Not acceptable. Okay. It should be interactive. Within few minutes, the system should provide me the output. Okay. And collaboration. You can collaborate with the professors in MIT also. Okay. Okay. So many professors and researchers are there. You know that IIT. We have the collaboration with the professors in MIT, Cambridge University, Stanford University. So that's the actually facility. Scalability. Scalability means that if you need some actually scalability actually there are 2 types. One is the vertical and the horizontal. Vertical scalability means that if you need more resources, memory, okay, then it will be provided. That is the example of vertical scalability. But now you have given a problem, and horizontal means if you need more processing provides us, for which we need to pay for that. Okay, you know that. Okay. Google Cloud, in fact, many of you have used it. GCP. Microsoft, I have not used it. AWS is also there. AWS means Amazon Web Service. Amazon Web Service actually earns huge amount of money from India. And for that, the digital tax, I think you have heard about it. Already Modi implemented on Amazon Google. तो हमको तो digital tax 25% टाइम लगेगा ना, तो 6% digital tax. And also told that it will increase to 8% digital tax. Actually, Amazon Web Services actually it earns 40,000 crore from India. 8% will be huge. Okay. Similarly for Google and Microsoft, they earn huge amount of money from India, but actually they don't give any tax to our Indian government. कमाई होता है इंडिया लेकिन पैसे नहीं no money. Okay. So actually this is nothing but what are the actually facilities provided by the different service providers like Azure, GCP. Mainly we know that the AWS, Azure and GCP. But most of the time we use the GCP, Google Cloud. We use this. Okay. So nothing more than the facilities are there. Email model, what is that? Khana pine ka? Okay. Actually, human beings have so many problems. In life also we have many problems. Some problems we are able to solve, and there are many problems we are not able to solve. Right? So, thing is that I have to identify what is my problem. What is my problem? It may be on electrical or in human life or in electrical or in computer science, mathematics, any field. Okay. You must identify what is your actual problem. What is the problem? Okay. If you correctly define your problem, then the next step is what you need to do. How do you solve it? So materials and methods. What materials you require to solve the problem, and what methods you need to apply. Okay. So you define the problem. Okay. Problem statement. Okay. Then data collection. You need the data is a huge problem in our country. Okay. You will not get good data from any clinicals or hospitals. Okay, then actually they don't give anything. For that we need to depend on other resources, like you know the UCI data repository or the clinical data that is from about the different resources are there. That is American based or Indian from other countries. Okay. Actually India does not give good data. Okay. So main thing is that you have to collect the data. Now one thing is that you can prepare your own data. Okay. Or if you like to apply, suppose you like to detect the disease, wheat disease, say wheat disease. Okay. So in that case you take you can take some pictures of wheat lake or wheat. Okay. So take images and that you can prepare your own data. Okay. Now after collecting data, what you need, that is you need to process the data. Okay. Process means that is it may be there are noises in your data set. Okay. So first of all you have to remove the noise from the data set. Okay. And also that the data set actually he will apply the data set to an algorithm. Actually, algorithm, most of the algorithm works very well if the data distribution is Gaussian distribution, normal distribution. I think normal distribution of data set. It is well said. Gauss distribution of data. There are different type of data distribution. Okay. Again, this Gauss distribution. Okay. Check whether the data is maintained the Gauss distribution. Okay. Then data parsing also another part is there, that is data scaling is also required. That is called the data normalization. Okay. Select your algorithm. Which algorithm you will select? CNN, ANN, recurring neural network, support vector machine. Yes, okay. So for a particular data, you cannot say that this particular algorithm will give you a good result. For that case, you need to take the performance of the algorithm on the particular data set. Okay. So and after getting the result, like accuracy, you know that equals to there is a technique actually utilized to judge the performance or efficiency of the algorithms. Okay. Then you select the data, that is the algorithm. Okay. Train the data, evaluate, apply the train model. After training, you find that the algorithm is your machine, algorithm is there, data is given, so actually it will build a model. That is, model means that is, say that is commercially applicable to apply on anything. Okay. So when model is built, then you evaluate it. Okay. And if the accuracy is actually less, it does not satisfy your requirement, then you need to process the data, or it may be that you can change the algorithm to get the desired result. Okay. So this is the email workflow. Okay. This is the data collection, data processing, parameter tuning is there, model evaluation, model deployment, and then the NDP. Okay. Email workflow, that is also done with the help of the cloud facility. Okay. One thing is that why, for not only ML but other field also, we actually get result quickly, very quickly. Okay, but why? How? So in this case, actually, we see that access to powerful processing unit, CPU, graphical processing unit. Okay, that actually only one company they actually developed. Okay, is the NVIDIA GPU. And GPU also, I have not used GPU. Tensor processing unit, more fast. I have not used it. Okay, and AutoML that is built in ML system in cloud platform. Automatic machine learning. You can use this facility from cloud. Okay, for that you don't need to write the code. Okay, and machine learning operations. Okay, that all these things. Collaboration tools that you can also utilize. Okay. Any tools, suppose the MIT is using, so you have access to MIT, any professor of MIT that you can use. And also, for example, if there is access, you know that Turnitin is a software that actually checks the student index, plagiarism checker. Turnitin is costly. Okay. So you have the access, you can use the Turnitin. Okay. Because it is not possible to purchase a Turnitin. Costly. Too much costly. data platform. Okay. So with the help of the cloud platform, you can use big data from other sources. So this is the chronology. First the computer will use the only CPU. Okay. And very new computers actually there is a GPU. GPU was it. I think our purchased one computer. It's mainly the one frame that has a GPU. 4 lakh. So capping unit is costly. Okay, no doubt it's costly. Yeah. So these things actually, if you use the Google Colab or service provider, you can. So without purchasing GPU or TPU, you can utilize with the help of the cloud facility. You can use it. Okay. Sometimes it is non-payable, or maybe sometimes you need to pay for it. Okay. In a processor here. Okay. Automatic event, that is in the cloud facility, not only in case of machine learning, but all other cases. If you like to do research in mathematics domain or chemistry domain or medical domain, okay, that can be, that resources are there, facilities are there. Okay, automated machine learning. So data acquisition, there are the different steps. Data exploration. Data is very important. Okay, actually most of the cases what we do, we actually concentrate on algorithms, but ignore the data. Okay, don't ignore data. That's the important part. Not only manual data, in any case, don't ignore data. Data actually give you the actually human being also use data is stored in all for future use, for current use. Okay, so suppose if a bad dog is running after you, what you will do? Bad dog. Usko say the dog has rabies. In that case, what you will do? Naturally you will run away to save him from the bad dog, rabies dog. Okay. Right. So actually that is you have taken the decision. If a bad dog that is having rabies, okay, then obviously you know that if it reaches to you, obviously it will bite you. Bad dog. Okay. Then you will you have perceived the environment, that is the dog is in the environment, okay, that is running to you, then you process the data into memory and take decision that you have to learn. Okay. So data acquisition, data exploration, data preparation, data engineering, model selection, training, parameter tuning. There are parameters are there also. And then predictions. Machine learning operations, same thing almost. Supervised metrics, unsupervised metrics, feedback loop, data storage. Okay. So these are actually available these systems. Okay. You need not to purchase need not to implement the very complex code for that. Or suppose I have seen that is to compute the true positive, true negative, false positive, false negative. This is all negative. Okay. So these are the Kaggle. I think many of you have used Kaggle, right? And TensorFlow is also there in Google Cloud. For that you need to install it. Okay. the implementation. Actually, why do we implement MLOP? Because it's already available. You can, for your research purpose, you can implement or you can design an ML operation system for your research purpose. But for my case, I don't do this because it's already available. Right? Nothing is there. Data analysis is there. Data labeling, data versioning. Data versioning, you know. Suppose you have developed a model, say it is version 1, version 1. Second time you revise it, it is improved, version 2, version 2.2 like that. Just like a vector, different versions is there. Python different versions is there also. Okay. Next. Oh, so these are the benefits. Accessibility. Lower barrier. Okay. Lower barrier, there has to be lower barriers. You can, so that you can easily access it. Okay. So, enabling organizations of all sizes, enterprise, startups, even startup business or in the enterprise, they can use AI or ML without any barrier. Okay. On-demand access to advanced ML tools, so many ML tools. So, okay, in the case of ML, so tools are available. Okay, we don't need to write separately. Okay. Scalability. Okay, allows seamless scaling. We see that computational resources based on workload demands. Okay. So I have already told that the scalability of the of types, that is horizontal and vertical scalability. Okay. Supports it training and deploying the large ML models without physical hardware constraint. Okay. You don't know what is where it is doing, where the competition is playing, in which computer, in which server. We don't know it. But we need the result by supplying the data to the systems. Okay. So these are the facilities provided by the cloud in case of machine learning. Not only machine learning, actually in all cases. Cost, very important, paisa. That should be minimum, right? So if you go to Kolkata, you can go by Vande Bharat, you can go by Volvo or SBSC buses. So then optimization techniques should be used there. Okay. So that your cost is optimized. Okay. Then the business class be high or actually I have not traveled to business class. Pre-built algorithms and frameworks. Okay, so there should be ready to use ML models, APIs, libraries. That should be available. Okay. Libraries, you know that the TensorFlow, PyTorch, Scikit-learn, you know about it. Okay. Acceleration of development by eliminating the need to build models from scratch. Development should be fast. Okay. Using the cloud facilities. Simplified infrastructure, faster development and deployment. Okay. Collaboration with other university or any research areas or with different companies. Collaboration, that must be collaboration. Okay. Democratization of AI and ML so that everybody can use AI and ML without any problem. Okay. So use this in academia and research. Okay. So obviously cloud technology helps us to in academic and research activities. Okay. Provides facilities with minimum cost. Okay. Many collaborative tools are there for data analysis and model training and for analytics, it is in cyber security, in software development, storage, everywhere. Okay. So benefits for research and academia is cost savings, scalability, global communication or collaboration, fast experimentation. This facility is actually is provided by cloud technology or cloud platform. Okay. Data privacy, that is to be maintained also. Okay. There is security and ethical considerations. For engineering, there is you know about the PO. PO of PO1 to PO12 is there. COPO mapping, you know. So one thing, one part is that is ethical. One Q is there, that is the ethical one is there. I think PO5 or PO5 to 6, I think. Okay. Ethical issues. So in case of design and development, for the purpose, 7 people. So that is data privacy, ethical issues, that is to be maintained. Nothing with say model bias and fairness, that is to be maintained also. And reproducibility of results. Okay, results means that is you have got some results. Okay, and when your model or program when is run in another platform, is different result. That should be. Okay. Should be robust. The result should be robust. Okay. Everywhere in every platform, your results should be robust and faithful. Okay. So systems should not give you different result in different platforms. Okay. Challenges are there also. Privacy and data security, cost management, multi-cloud environment. Multi-cloud means connection between different clouds. But that is not an easy task. Okay. Portability and performance challenges. Performance actually is a very important, not only for women, for human life also. Like we are working in Engineering College, even Bidhannagar. Some of the work, they are working in IIT, NIT, some in MIT, Stanford University. So actually, the performance is very important. Not only for machines, it also applicable to human beings also. Performance. So I have already discussed the reproducibility of results. Okay, the results should be robust. Okay, and in every system, any platform, your results should be robust and faithful. Emerging trends, generated learning, MLOP, hardware accelerator like TPU, seamless, serverless ML. Have you heard about the serverless ML? Serverless ML, machine learning. Okay. That is actually emerging trends. Okay. Tools. What tools you can use? One that is AutoML you can use, TensorFlow, PyTorch, scikit-learn on cloud, datasets available in UCI, Kaggle, OpenML for dataset. If you need to work or you like to do research work. Okay. So here are the resources from the cloud that are available either in machine learning, algorithms or dataset. Okay. So this is the last slide. Okay. So obviously CloudED enhances research speed, scale and collaboration. And this is ideal opportunity for research and innovations. Thank you. Any questions? If you have any questions, if I have the capability, then I will give you answer. If it is beyond my scope or beyond my knowledge, then suggest to it. Because I already told that so many things, so many emerging areas, that it is not possible to learn about these areas and subjects. Okay, if you have no questions, then you can end here. Thank you so much for attending this session. And my ex-colleague KB Kingsu Banerjee. We worked together. ভালো হয়েছে মানে এখানে বাড়ি
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. And thank you all for your patience and we would request everyone to thank sir with a round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
No.
Now we are having our tea break, and after that we are having a hands-on session, and that is on Asian Bose Company Lab. And one more announcement: every group will have to submit the article summary, if possible by today, and if it is not possible, then by tomorrow. They will have to submit day 1 as well as day 2's article summary as a group.
লাইভ অন করে দিচ্ছি।
একদম